Hello, here we grow. I'm so excited. This is my favorite. I'm so excited. See, I love speaking, but I love learning, like I was just sharing with you guys. And that was good. Got the nerves. We're going like this now, right? We're going like this. So now we have my mentor that will be coming to the stage to help you with your money mindset. So one of the very first things that I had was a bad money mindset when I first started working with Ray. And for those of you that know who Ray Higdon is, drop rank makers in the comments, please, especially if you are a rank maker. Let's blow up the group and give them some love. But my money mindset was really off, and a lot of things were really off. And so when I first came to Ray, you know, I was really nervous. Number one, when I first hired him, I didn't think I was worthy. I don't even think he knows that, but I was literally like so nervous to work with him. But I knew that it was time for me to go bigger. And so I shared the story on his stage about when I first went to go meet him in person at an event. I didn't even introduce myself. I took a picture with him, and then I quickly ran back home and drove 2.5 hours back home because I was so nervous to say hi and let him know who I was in person. #dork. Okay. So I want you guys to know, if you still get nervous and you get all those jitters, it's okay. You're in the right place. That's a good thing. But your money mindset for 2021 needs to be in the right place. So for those of you who know Ray, awesome. But for those of you that don't, because I know we have a lot of new people in here, Ray is a best-selling author. He's a coach. He's an incredible speaker. And when I tell you he's an incredible speaker, like there's no rah-rah with him. It's real. And I'm so grateful and appreciative for that. His newest book, and it's best-selling, Time, Money, Freedom, is co-authored with his wife, Jessica Higdon, who is like my hero. I freaking love her to pieces. And he has the Higdon Group, a reality show, the #1 place for network marketers, rank makers. And he is just the coolest human, honestly, on the planet. And my business has grown 275% plus. And I'm just so grateful for him. So I'm going to bring him to the stage, Mr. Ray Higdon. And we don't have music because Facebook will delete it. So
What's up? Hey, right, Marina, look at you crushing it.
Oh my God. All right, I'm going to back out and let you do your thing.
Thanks so much. Isn't Marina amazing? I mean, she is just so awesome, so cool. She's such a pleasure to work with. And, you know, she's someone that has so much skill and so much talent, but she remains coachable, which is rare. You know, I think many people that have what she has would already think they know it all. And I meet people all the time that are at a certain level and they're like, I've made it and I know everything. I don't need anything. So give it up for Marina. She's amazing. So talented, so incredible. And I'm gonna let you in on something you may or may not know. She's just scratching the surface. She's just scratching the surface. You're gonna see her continue to keep blowing it up. So she has asked or tasked, I'm not sure, to talk about money mindset. And money mindset is one of the most needed elements in society, needed elements in business, so misunderstood. And so I'm gonna share about this. And this is something that, you know, I struggled with, not only, and here's how you know, this is a really key thing right here. Here's how you know if you struggle with money mindset. Don't look at what you think you know. Don't look at what books you've read. Look at your results. If you don't have hardly any money in the bank, you have a money mindset issue. I assure you, I guarantee you. At one point, I remember, you know, going into the grocery store using WIC checks. I remember, you know, living in a place that you had to qualify for low-income housing. I remember getting payday advances because I couldn't pay the bills with what I was making. And then after becoming a full-time entrepreneur and achieving some success, I remember losing it all and being in foreclosure, being dead broke, being chased by bill collectors. And so I've had my bouts with money mindset. I've been dead, totally broke twice in my life. And I can tell you that there's a lot of things that I've learned. And there's a lot of things that I've realized, ways that I thought that didn't serve me, that I want to talk to you about it and help you out with that. And so first, very first thing, just to kind of, set the tone, people have asked us, what do you contribute? What is the biggest contribution to the speed of our growth? And so, in 2009, I think on my, I shouldn't say ours, but on my taxes, I made like $19,000. 2010, 350,000, 2011, 700,000, 2012 was right about the same, actually, because I started to slide backwards a little bit and didn't grow a lot that year. 2013, first $1 million year. 2014, first $1 million month. 2015, first $1 million weekend. And all in all, I think we've generated a little bit over $30 million. And I can tell you the number one, second isn't even close. The number one reason that we've been able to grow at the speed that we've grown is our willingness to invest in ourselves. I guarantee you, I assure you, there is no question. And so I don't like the term. I know what people mean by it, but I don't like the term self-made. Self-made usually indicates someone who didn't get an inheritance, who wasn't given a bunch of money, through whatever. And but I just don't like I don't like the energy of that term, because I'm not self-made. I may be self-motivated, but I'm not self-made. I have learned off the shoulders of giants. I have learned off the different coaches and mentors and masterminds I've been a part of. And so I've learned from so many different people, and I'll share with you a little bit of that journey. But I think there's when we came on the scene, my wife and I came on the scene, we were not, big trainers. We weren't really known. Right. And so there were a lot of training companies that were bigger than us in the network marketing space. There were a lot of, trainers that had much bigger followings and et cetera. And, for the most part, we've been able to grow a bigger business than a lot of them, at least. And it really is. It's that willingness to invest in ourselves. There's something interesting about how timid people are with investing in themselves. Like that person's going to get the better of them or something like that, or they're admitting weakness. I remember when I first started telling people that, we were hiring, a coach, and people are like, well, aren't you motivated enough? And it's like, well, I'm not really hiring them, for motivation. I'm hiring them to get to where I want to go faster. And that's always been the motive. How do I get to where I want to go faster? And I'll give you some examples. In 2013, I'm kind of making some assumptions here, and I shouldn't. Let me tell you real quickly my story. I don't want to assume everyone knows my story, because I'm sure that there's people on here that are seeing me for the very first time. And I'm someone, I'd worked my way up in the corporate world. I've worked for a lot of weird jobs, but I worked in the county government. That's where I kind of built up a decent salary. And so I was working for Collier County here in Naples, Florida. And long story short, I realized that working for someone else wasn't what I wanted to do. And I jumped into real estate. And real estate here in the state of Florida in 2004, 2005 was amazing. Everyone was making lots of money. We were rocking and rolling, making it happen. And so I made some pretty good money in real estate until the market changed and I got completely wiped out. And so dead broke, personal foreclosure, also went through a divorce at that time. Just a lot of things happened right around 2008, 2009 to completely wipe me out. And it was me being introduced to a network marketing company that really turned my life around. And there were a few other factors, a few personal factors, such as reconnecting with my dad, who I hadn't talked to in 13 years, getting over some of my child abuse issues around trust and things like that. And a lot of those things we do talk about in our new book, Time, Money, Freedom. It's the 10 simple rules to redefine what's possible and radically reshape your life. This just came out about a week and a half ago, or actually today's Tuesday, 2 weeks ago it came out, did hit bestseller status. We're very grateful. And so my wife and I had, I joined that company when I was in foreclosure, when I was dead broke, when I was being chased by bill collectors. And I decided I was going to make that thing happen, right? Became the #1 income earner. My wife started working with me. And in 2013, we had so many different leaders and teams and even companies that wanted us to train them on social media because we were doing social media before most people were doing social media in network marketing. In fact, we were the black sheep. We were, people said that doesn't duplicate, that's right. And we just made it happen, became the #1 income earners in the company. And so many companies, teams, and leaders were asking us to train them on doing videos, on generating leads, on selling using the internet. And we didn't intend to build a coaching training company, but we did. And in 2013, the company that we were the #1 income earners of decided to merge into a different company. And we decided that we were going to continue, right? We ran with that company for like 3 years, but we were going to expand our coaching and training company. And so we did our first major event, right? That was 2013. I think it was July 2013. And so we do this event and we don't know what the hell we're doing. we thought it would cost us about $50,000. It actually cost about $120,000. And so before the event, we're literally in tears. I mean, we're just like stressed. And we were, for the first time ever, going to offer our mastermind, Top Earner Club, and which Marina is a part of, and we're very grateful to work with her. And so this was going to be the first time we ever offered it. So we don't have any testimonials. We don't have, any props. Look what these people accomplished with the Top Earner Club, because there was none, right? We were launching it. It was the very first year, 2013. And so I hired a coach, or we hired a coach, I should say. And we spent $50,000 on that coach, right? So now you got the event at $120,000. We invested in a coach for $50,000, which made us very, very nervous. We'd never invested that kind of money. Actually, you know what? I take that back. $35,000. $35,000. We actually renewed with them for another 50, but it was 35,000 initially. Now that I remember. So we got 120,000 as the event, 35,000 for this coach that specifically is going to help us with the event, with making an offer at the event. And so we do this event, and we have we have two main things that we're offering. We're offering our platinum program, which back then I think was $18,000, and our diamond program, which is $50,000. Okay, $50,000. And so we figure that no one's going to buy the 50, but the 50 will make the 18 look better. So we'll hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll sell enough of the 18 to at least cover our costs, because now we're at 120 plus the 35, right? And so we do this 3-day event, rock it out. It's a great event. And we make the offer. And I think it was like maybe 22 people got the platinum and 3 bought the diamond. And I just couldn't believe it, because I'm like, no one's going to buy the diamond. I'm like, what? 3 people bought the diamond? And so I'll tell you, my money mindset back then, I was nervous. I was nervous. Now you should be elated, right? And it ends up, we spent the $35,000 for that coaching, made us $500,000, $500,000, right? And so we should be elated. We should be like, yay. But the three people that bought the 50K, I'm like stressed out about. I'm like, oh my God, do I move in with them? Do I like, live with them now? Do they now own me? Like, how does this work? And I was so nervous and so stressed because I remember working in an entire year, 50 hours a week to make $40,000, to make $50,000. And so I'm stressed. Now I should be like elated. I should be like, yeah, this is awesome. But I was stressed out of my mind. I remember, just a side note, at the event, when we made the offer from stage, someone came up to me and said, dude, you can't sell $50,000 coaching in network marketing, dude. And I look back, and the back table has a line wrapped around it of people wanting to join and sign up. And I said, I think we just did. Now, I was stressed when those three bought that $50,000. However, what completely changed my money mindset, and what completely helped me was all three renewed. So I did a year of coaching with them, and all three of them renewed, and either two or maybe three of the platinums upgraded to diamond. And then we had like 4 or 5 others join diamond that next year. And so, the next year, I think we were sitting at like 15 diamonds. It was crazy. It was nuts. The fact that those three renewed told me that I have value. And that's a part of your money mindset. You need to understand that you have value. You have value. You have the power, and it doesn't have to be coaching. I'm not saying that, but you have the power to introduce someone to a platform that could completely change their life. My buddy Chris had power. He introduced me to that network marketing company that changed my life, totally changed my life. I don't know what I would be doing had he not invited me, because back then, you got to realize, no one was hiring. My credit was shot. I'm dead broke in foreclosure. I'm depressed. Like, I don't have the ability to go get a bunch of money, and no one is hiring. Like, what am I going to do? Like, literally, network marketing was like the option for me. And you see, in today's marketplace, with the pandemic, with shutdowns, with so many businesses affected by what's going on in 2020, you have the way to really lift someone up. You have the way to help someone with a platform to run on, to make extra money, to make ends meet for their family. And I'm just a believer, not to get political or anything here, but I'm just a believer that if your job or your business is what you rely on to feed your family, then it's essential. That's what I see. And you, I'm assume majority in here are probably network marketers. You, as a network marketer, you now have the most coveted career on planet Earth. You have a method to make money from home without ever leaving, from social media, with low risk and low overhead. And so one of the things, even though this book, this is not a network marketing book, but in it, I highly edify network marketing. I say it's the lowest risk, lowest overhead way for the average ordinary person to start a business. And I believe that. And on top of that, you can do it from home. And so you can do it part-time. You have the power to introduce people to that concept that could absolutely change their life, that could absolutely save their life. And so you got to understand that you provide value. You have value within you. Now, going back to this money mindset. So I invested $35,000. We can, the event costs are kind of, a little different, but I invested in a coach, $35,000, made $500,000. There's nothing, unless you timed Bitcoin just right, unless you got that 1 in a bajillion timing right, there is no investment you can do that will get you that return. And I'll tell you about one I did last year. And, some people are aware of this, but, last year I gave Grant Cardone $100,000 for 6 hours. That's $17,000 an hour. $17,000 an hour. And in the first hour, he helped me think about my events differently and how we thought about events as a whole in such a way that he added in 1 hour, he added $1 million that year to my bottom line. $1 million. Now, here's what you don't realize about money and investments, okay? So when I was in real estate, you could get what's called hard money. Any real estate people in here? Drop me a comment if you've heard this, that phrase before, hard money. So hard money is basically when you have a deal that no one else will lend on, all right? So like let's say that your credit is shot and you find a piece of real estate, and that piece of real estate, it's an amazing deal, but your credit is shot, no one will lend to you. But let's say that it's worth whatever, let's make it believable here. Let's say it's worth $100,000 and you can get it for $30,000. Pretty good deal. Now maybe you got some fix-ups and things like that. Hard money are private lenders, and you can go, and we've done some hard money. That's not my specialty or whatever, but meaning I've lent some hard money on different things, different deals. But if there was a great deal, a private lender would be willing to give me a loan, right? Even if my credit was shot, would be willing to give me a loan at about 15% interest rate. Now, 15% that's a really high interest rate, right? But if I have a house that I get for $30,000, it's worth $100,000, and I get a loan with 15% interest, how much does the person lending get, right? They would get 15%. So that means if we're using more round numbers, if they gave me $100,000, they'd make what? $15,000 in interest. Okay, you follow me? So I'm changing the numbers a little bit just to make it really, really easy here. But $100,000. So a hard money lender would be willing to give you $100,000 if they get 15% for the year. So that's $15,000. That's a good investment for them. Think about what I just told you. I just told you that I spent $100,000 and that added $1 million. Most people would spend $100,000 if only it would get them back $15,000 that year. And so we don't have anything that is as powerful as investing in ourselves, but people don't look at it like that. Marina, she said that her business grew over 250% the first year of working with me, but a better analysis is just dollar per dollar. She spent X to make an X gain. Now, one, I didn't do the work, she did the work, just like a personal trainer. Like, my personal trainer can tell me to do sit-ups all day long, but he can't do them for me, right? So she did the work. She was coachable. She followed, actions. And number two, she also mixed in her own flair, right? I didn't give her every single step to take. I gave her some steps. I guided her in some things, helped her with some funnels, with some ways to think about, upsells and things like that. But she had her own flair, did her own steps too, and was coachable and did the work. You look at, 250%, but you look at dollar per dollar, it's ridiculous. There is no investment, none, that she could have done that would have grown her money that much. None, zero. And again, hard money lenders, which these are the last resort kind of guys, they'll take 15%. So if you can invest in something and make 15% back, if you invested, 10 grand and made 1,500 of that back, and think about other businesses. And this is where I really think network marketers, they don't realize what they have, man. They don't realize what they have. So I have a friend that has 76. Actually, I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, to be honest. But so I don't know if he still has all of these, and with the shutdowns and everything, I don't know how it works. But at one point he had 76 Domino's franchises. To buy one Domino's franchise, it's $250,000. And that doesn't include the pepperoni, doesn't include the mozzarella, doesn't include the sauce, doesn't include advertising, marketing, doesn't include any of that stuff. The insurance on the drivers that are driving like crazy, right? None of that. So $250,000, okay, $250,000 for that Domino's franchise. And they tell you to expect a 10-year return on investment. 10-year return on investment. So let's think about that. What does that mean, right? 10-year, divide that up, about 10%. About 10%. But what that means, you got to know what this means. $250,000 investment, at the end of 10 years, you should have made it back. Now, who's signing up for that? Who's excited for that one? Nobody, because you're spoiled. You're spoiled because you spend a couple $100 and you hope to have gotten that back in the first week or so. You spend maybe $1,000 and you hope to get that back in your first 6 months. So you're looking for not even a 100% return. You're looking for a 200% return in in that period of time. You don't understand the real world. The real world, and people buy Domino's franchises all the time. $250,000 risk, and you should expect a 10-year return on investment, 10% a year, and you'll get $250,000 back. Do you realize if you went to people and said, hey, it's $1,000 to join my team, and in 10 years you should get that back? Now, who would sign up with that? Nobody. But do you realize that would be a better deal than Domino's? Why? Less risk. Less risk. So that's what people don't understand. Just because you're in a business that is low risk, low cost, low overhead doesn't mean that you can't expand. Doesn't mean that you can't play like a big dog. Jess and I have been playing this game like big dogs for quite a while now. We look for how do we leverage our money, and also understand, and then I got a few more things for you here. Also understand that you always have at least two businesses. Everyone on here has at least two businesses. And I know some maybe have a job, maybe have network marketing, maybe have, this other one I'm going to mention, but everyone on here has at least two. You have the way that you make money, and then you have your money. Putting your money to work. So we put our money to work in different types of insurance. We put our money to work in advertising. We put our money to work in investing and coaching and masterminds. We have lots of different places that we put our money. We have some in the market. We have some in gold and silver. We have some in cryptocurrency. We work that money. And too often I meet a former top earner that used to make a lot of money, but wasn't a good steward of the money, and now they're broke. You got to be working that business, man. You got to be not just follow the strategies you're going to learn inside of this summit, but you also have to, as you make money, you got to put that money to work. You got to have it make sense for you. You got to start, trying to leverage that money as quickly as possible, because it sitting in a bank account doesn't make any damn sense. Grant, who can be a little intense, he says, equity in your home or money in the bank is your sign of weakness. It means you're scared. You're scared to put it on the line, but you don't multiply it that way. You don't multiply your money by having equity in your home or having money in the bank. You multiply it by working it. You multiply by putting it, into, whatever market you're confident in or whatever. And obviously I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you any of that kind of advice, but you have two businesses. The way you make money, however many ways that is, and then what you do with the money. Very, very important. So money is not nearly as important as one other thing, which is your time. Time is infinitely more important. This is why I will always 100% of the time trade my money to save time. If it'll save me time to get to where I want to go faster, awesome. If it'll save me time in my daily routine or things that I need to get done, awesome. I'm going to do that. And so, recently, just a couple of days ago, we had we had Black Friday. And I know that this year's a little different because of the pandemic and everything. So I don't know if anybody went out and got trampled in the malls, or, I'm sure many lives were saved because no one was trampled at, Toys R Us or whatever. But here's a question for you. How do you value your time? How do you value your time? So if you have this dress that you really want, and you can buy it here for, I don't know what a dresses cost, $100. Let's say you can buy it here for $100, or you can go out of town 90 minutes and get 20% off. Which one are you going to do? And that will tell you if you value your time as much as money. See, I will pay extra to save time. I will pay extra to skip lines because I value my time. I don't want to be there. I pay more to get my cars, washed at home than me go sit in the dumb line. I don't want to do that. And I don't personally get enjoyment from washing my own car. Now, if you do, then awesome, right? I'm not talking about joy here. I'm talking about the things that you need to get done. What do you value, your time or your money? I know so many people that will travel across town. They'll wait in a big long line to save $10. I'll pay $10 to avoid that. And so you want to analyze that kind of thing. Here's another one around money mindset. So last night I did a free Facebook Live on my page around how to make more money before Christmas. And I shared several different strategies that anybody can do to put more money in their bank account, to put more money in their purse or wallet. And when about, 5 minutes in, okay, we had a whole bunch of people on, and in 5 minutes, about 5 minutes in, I said, hey, by the way, before I get started, I want to let you know about this Cyber Monday marketing bundle that we have for sale. And so I mentioned it, and I watched the numbers. 20 people jumped off. So now I'm not offended by that because I get it. I used to be that guy. I used to be the guy that would go to an event and say, they're trying to sell me something. And I wonder why I was broke. Why was I broke? You'll never become that which you despise. So I'll tell you another story. Years ago, I did this, I don't even remember the name of it, but years ago, I did this like diet plan thing. And I was in a network marketing company, and that was not diet or weight loss or anything like that. I was in a network marketing company, had nothing to do with weight loss or diet. And I did this diet and lost some weight. And a friend who was I don't think he was in my team, actually, he was cross-line, but someone in another person's team reached out to me and said, hey, I see you're doing that diet. Do you like that? And I said, yeah, it's been helpful to me. And he said, yeah, when I first saw it, I had to make sure it wasn't network marketing. And I'm like, do you realize what you're saying? So you're saying you were not going to buy it if it was network marketing. Ever wonder why you don't make many sales? Think about that. So if when someone is making an offer, you're, no, man, you shouldn't be trying to sell me something, then how the hell are you ever going to sell a lot? And by the way, if you want to help a lot of people, you need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to sell the idea that your product, service, or opportunity can help them. And you don't do that by turning an eye to, oh, they're trying to sell me. No. I study sales. I love being at Grant's event. Literally every 45 minutes there was a different pitch. I mean, he had every single speaker was offering something for sale. Like, it was nonstop. And some were good, some not so good. I love that stuff. I love studying. How do they think they can sell? How do they think this thing they offer is going to sell, and what do they use? What language do they use? What slides do they use? How do they sell it? I love that stuff. I love studying that stuff. And so if you start to fall in love with sales, if you start to fall in love, and notice I'm not saying being salesy, I'm not saying being pushy, right? I don't, we don't believe in being pushy. Pushy doesn't work. Salesy doesn't work. But for you to despise sales, that's going to sabotage you. That's going to prevent you from impacting as many people as you could. And it's definitely going to impact you from ever making the kind of money you could. And so you'll never become that which you despise. If you look at someone who's rich and wealthy and you're like, let me find what's wrong with them. Yeah, but they have a bad, blah, 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 right? Whatever you come up with, just know the only thing you win is you never get to become them. You never get to make the kind of impact or the kind of money that they make. And so we want to avoid that, that kind of pattern. I'll tell you one last thing here before I hop off here. But let me think about this. I don't want to say the only, because the biggest argument that Jess and I have ever had was actually around money. And this is a story I detail in our Time, Money, Freedom book, but it was around money. And what's funny about it is we didn't have it until we started making a lot of money. We literally didn't argue about money until, think about this, until we were over $500,000 a year. Never argued about it. Think about that. We never argued about money when I was dead broke, when I was in foreclosure, when she was paying my bills. We didn't argue about money until over $500,000 a year. Now, that sounds dumb, right? Doesn't it? It's like, why then? You would think that'd be the least likely time, right? Because you're making money. It's great. No. You see, here's how it went. So I remember 2011, and this was the year that we got married. And so, I would be, working, and Jess would peek her head in and say something innocent sounding and say something like, hey, I was logged into the bank account and the bank account's down a little bit. I don't know, we should discuss or something. And she would walk out. And to me, that was catastrophic. It just punched me right in the face. Here's how I translated what she just said. I didn't translate it as, hey, the bank account's down a little bit. Maybe we should, come up with some ideas. That's not how I translated it. I translated it as, I'm not doing enough. I'm not providing for her. I'm not a man. That's how I translated it. And so she would make this little statement, oh, bank account down a little bit. And so I would get to work. There were weeks where I would do 17 webinars. In fact, I think the week before our wedding, I did, 17 or 18 webinars. So I would just go into crazy work mode. I'd work all the way up till, midnight, 1 o'clock, get up at 5 a.m., work. I'm just working nonstop. She's pressed. It's like, I'm this like robot, and she pressed the button, right? And I just work. And she would then ask me, why are you so stressed out? Why am I so stressed out? I just want to, what's wrong with you? You did this. This is your doing. But she didn't understand that. And so this only went on for years before I had the self-worth to actually discuss it. So she would say, bank account down a little bit. Why are you stressed out? Right? Until I'm like, hey, this sucks. This really sucks, because I could feel my resentment rising. I didn't want to resent her, but I felt my resentment rising. It was really starting to get to me. We're starting to, argue a little bit more, say it was not nice, right? And so I say to her, I'm like, listen, when you say that, this is how I translate it. And she's like, oh my God, that's not what I mean at all. And we had a discussion, and here's the reality. She had watched her mom have a very successful career, make a lot of money, and lose it all. So her biggest fear in the world, making a lot of money, losing it all. And so that's how she was operating from. And so me, I was, I wanted to provide for her. She provided for me when I was broke, right? I wanted to provide for her. So we have these two different ideologies clashing. Neither knows what the other is thinking. I didn't grasp how much her mom losing it all affected her. She didn't grasp how much what she was saying to me affected me, right? And so we had this conversation, and which we talk about in the book, and we came away with solutions. We came away with, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a percentage of every dollar we make, and we're going to put it into different investments. We're going to make sure we're taken care of. We now have, financial retirement goals. We have an entire map, right? We got our whole estate planning. Our estate is planned down to what happens if my grandchildren get married but get divorced. My unborn grandchildren, I want to point out. So that's how much of our estate we now have planned. And it's because we were willing to have that conversation. And we talk about that a lot in our book. And so I hope that you've taken something from this, and it's helpful to you. Whether it's, hey, maybe I should believe in my number one asset, which is me, and maybe I should invest in me. And I'm sure you'll get an opportunity during this event. Maybe it's, how do I value my time versus my money? Maybe it's, there are conversations in my relationship that I need to have, because if I don't, resentment never shrinks. Okay, unaddressed resentment never shrinks. It doesn't go away. It only grows and it spreads. And pretty soon, when he doesn't take out the garbage, it's because he doesn't love you. And because she didn't make blah, 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 do whatever, then that means this, right? So resentment starts to transform meanings all throughout your entire life unless you actually address it. And that is one of our main points in our Time, Money, Freedom book. 3 takeaways from this book that we wanted people to get. First of all, we're very honored. This is our first majorly published book. This is from Hay House, okay, which we're very blessed. They've published Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, John Assaraf, Russell Brunson, all kinds of amazing individuals. So very blessed to be amongst great company. 3 things that I hope people get. 1, that you can have a great life despite having a tough past. I came from major child abuse. I remember going to kindergarten with a bloody nose, saying I ran into a door. I remember going to school in the summer with a sweater because I had deep claws on my neck that were still bleeding. And I remember, the tough road. It was a tough road for me. And I'm sure that some on here can resonate with that and experience some of that as well. You can have a great life even though you had a tough past. Number 2, with a tough past and overcoming obstacles, you can inspire people and make an impact. Rule number 10 is make an impact. And that's one of the rules we really want to get in the hands of as many people as possible. And then number 3 is that you making more money is good. You can only volunteer so much time. There's an unlimited amount of money that you can donate. There's an unlimited amount of impact you can make if you start making more money. You can build that abuse center. You can build that homeless shelter. You can start feeding the hungry. You can start helping those that have been through addiction, et cetera. And so those are the 3 things. You can get this at any major bookstore. You can certainly get it on Amazon. We have a special page at higdongroup.com/bonuses if you're looking for Christmas presents to help some people out. But I appreciate you, and I want to honor my time slot here. My time is up. I appreciate you having me. Marina is amazing. You're in great hands, and I'm just so honored to be on here today, and I hope you got value from this.
You are so awesome. I think that training was just for me. I'm just going to say, because insane people, I tell you, I come to learn. Ray, I'm so grateful for you.
You're awesome.
I say though, when you said we're spoiled,
yeah.
I never thought of it that way before. That's huge. We're so spoiled.
I got a buddy that spent $80,000 on his brick oven in his pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
That shut down because of COVID.
Oh my gosh.
80 G's. That's just the oven.
Yeah.
And so, most restaurants cost a couple $100,000, to start, and your return on that is years.
Yeah.
So high risk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're incredible. You guys go get the book. Go get the book. It's absolutely incredible. I just started reading it and I'm like in love because money mindset, I'm telling you, is a big piece of it. So Ray, thank you again for being here. I'm so grateful for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We are going to be up the other stream, right? It's not this one. So I'm going to, but before I do that, I want to do some giveaways. We have 3 winners that are going to win swag from sharing the summit, the SOS Summit. For those of you that are taking screenshots of us and putting us all over your Instagram stories and tagging me and putting it on Facebook, sharing your wins. We also, all of you, we have a couple of these hats, by the way. When you purchased, you actually got a number. So we're doing raffle. You actually have raffle tickets. So we have 2 winners we're going to pick from here. So let me grab the stuff that we're going to give away. By the way, all of the swag that we're going to show you is on the Healer dashboard. If you go to healerdashboard.com, that's where you can find all the swag we're going to showcase. Ray's book, if you either go to his site or you can go to Healer Dashboard, and we've put it right where his name is, so you can go and grab the book as well. So let's do some swag, and then let's do one of each of these, and then we'll do swag. Let's do, I'm cold. Let's do a sweatshirt, and let's do the sleigh shirt, and let's do Fierce Blossom and Free. Okay, so I'm going to show you the toddler size, but this isn't the size that we're going to give you. So anyway, here we go. We're going to give away the Fierce Blossom and Free. There's toddler size too, but we're going to give away grown-up size or toddler size, whichever one you win. Now, if you're a winner, all you have to do is email support@momsandheels.com. We have your names though, so please only email us if you are a winner, because we have the names. Just have to say that out loud. So the first winner of the Fierce Blossom and Free is Katie Wilson for tagging me on Instagram, because we're paying attention. We're paying attention. So Katie Wilson, congratulations. You won a Fierce Blossom and Free shirt. So congratulations to Katie. Joni, I don't know how to say your last name. Nogay? Nogay?
Yeah.
Nogay?
Yeah.
Nogay? Here you go. You are going to get the mood for 2021 is Soleil. Congratulations. So excited. We're going to be doing these all day, you guys. Okay. And we're going to give away the Slay shirt as well. And that is Meg McCarthy. Congratulations. We're so excited for you. I'm going to come back and do these other giveaways. We have to get to the next speaker because we are running behind. So I will come back and do these giveaways as well. So we're going on to the next one. I will see you guys on the next stream. Bye.